Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you manage here to be able to understand really the catalog that you have it, that also helps a lot the salespeople even themselves when they want to sell that to in a B2B context, for example. The fun thing of the smart search is that also it uses what we call multimodal models, and in the multimodal models, it doesn't only understand the text but also understand images. It also understands videos.
Okay, hi and welcome to this little interview with Amr. We are talking today about intelligent search and also smart shopping experiences in the new e-commerce environment. And Amr, could you please introduce yourself briefly?
Sure. Hi, Toni. My name is Amr. I'm Director of Data Science and Analytics here at Diconium for around 3 years here in Hamburg. And our team is responsible of working with the clients on the pain points, optimization opportunities, growth potential in everything regarding heavy data solutions like machine learning, AI, data analytics, data science, etc.
Cool. So today we are focusing a bit on e-commerce, and my first question is also a bit clarifying the terms. In your own words, what's the difference between this intelligent smart search and traditional search, for example, the keyword search or filter search?
Yep. We live here in Germany, for example, and we have so many companies. They are not small at all, like mid-size and probably also multi-billion euros companies. And they still depend heavily on their online shop, which is, I would say, very outdated. You have to write exactly what you're looking for as a user. You have to write exactly the product name or probably the brand name. If you express that differently somehow, right or left, it doesn't work. If you use probably English term and it's here in Germany or in France, that wouldn't work. If you misspelled it, it doesn't work, and so on. And I think that's so much outdated now when in the whole world of LLM and AI at the moment. We can now do the shopping experience differently because we can let the shop itself understand the products better. So they can actually know the context of the products, the usage of the products. You can also understand the users better. So the queries, you don't have to write now the product name, but you can also express more your question or express more your need. And this is what we mean by the smart shopping. So that let really the shop understands you, understands the products, and try to really serves here the need in the best way using the LLM and AI techniques.
And which e-commerce sites, maybe there are specific ones, which would profit hugely from integrating smart search? So
Every retailer, every merchant, everyone that has already a shop, and especially also if they are in a very specific domain. So here's a lot of also manufacturing things, electronic components, and so on. And this is usually, I have seen it myself, that some online shops that they need you to write the article numbers, which is a 10 digits long thing. Usually they are B2B clients. But in many cases, you have to be very specific because at the end, in the catalog of the products behind that, they only index only the product names, only probably the product descriptions, but they have already a lot of more information that they can index it, right? So any electronical manufacturing here, they have also a lot of specification documents like PDFs or images of the products or videos explaining the products. If you can really integrate all of these, you can let the user search, express their needs much easier, and you can also understand them and serve them in a much better way, right? So I think it's not really specific dependent, but it could be in everywhere as long as you have your own catalog and you want to have your shopping experience better or more natural. Yeah.
So the user would, of course, profit from maybe a much more faster search, precise results, satisfying results, but it can be also useful for the sellers, right?
Absolutely.
Because, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you manage here to be able to understand really the catalog that you have it, that also helps a lot the salespeople even themselves when they want to sell that to in a B2B context, for example, right? So instead of specifying particularly very keywords matching things when you search, for example, right? And in online shopping for us, it's also not only the search, but search is a very big part of it. You can also have virtual assistant that really like like a normal person that can chat with you, spare with you, and also see what's the best fit, what kind of compatibility between the products that you can also buy them together, support you on the whole way, that supports the sales and the online experience in general heavily, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, and besides, for example, our agentic AI sales assistant Nivo, we have also our in-house smart search. You also developed it, and yeah, can you say in a few words how does it work, and also maybe how did the idea evolve? Which market need did you see before you created it?
Yeah, I think the market need is the pain that we all have it on the everyday, right? I mean, on the daily basis, we search on stuff. I'm sure sometimes that the product exists, but I cannot really express how it's really the right terminology. I cannot state it correctly, so the shop can find it for me. So I think the need is clear. We all see it. The fun thing of the smart search is that also it uses what we call it multimodal models. And in the multimodal models, it doesn't only understand the text, but also understand images. It also understands videos, which means probably I search for something that doesn't exist in the product name or description, but it exists in a video of the product, or it exists in some photos of the products. This is what we try to do it, and probably we can also explain that on our whiteboard. We can see it. How can really the system, so the shop, understand the relation between images, between text, between PDFs, combine all of these together, and fulfill your query according to all of the information available from all these sources. So this is how we start the smart search. It started here completely internal, from the idea to proof of concept to also present it to clients, getting feedback and develop that. It's probably while you watch this video, it should be already on production for some of our clients. So it's very fun journey, I would say, and we went it all here through it together with the team.
Yeah.
So it was cool. Yeah,
that's super cool, because also for me personally, for example, I've been using Vinted a lot, and I was so happy when they finally allowed to upload a photo, because it simplifies a lot. And yeah, but you said it was a really nice project, but were there also any technical challenges you encountered?
Yeah, sure. Many, I think. When you come to any AI solution at the moment, I think one of the main challenges is the evaluation of that. It's quite hard. It's not yes, no question now where you can say, yeah, the solution or the system works or doesn't work. It's much more complex than that. So if you now as a client and you want to test it, how would you say really if the products retrieved is the most relevant ones? How can you evaluate that? It's quite challenging. And I think that needs always working so much closer with the client, understanding really how they prioritize the products, how they want to promote something or sort them in a different way based on their categories or based on their families and so on. I think evaluation is always a topic and it takes time. And this is also something that we talk about it later. In AI, it's quite easy, I would say. My team will hate me now, but it's quite easy now to build something quick. What's much harder is to bring it really to production. So the first 70-80% probably easy. You can do it in one shot. But this last 20%, really evaluating, really ensure that it's compatible, it's scalable, it's sufficient to be in production. This is, I think, challenging for many cases. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, I mean, it's all about the accuracy of the results to bring it to as high as possible. But how do you measure this accuracy?
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. I mean, on the technical level, we have always our KPIs or measures or matrices. This is in the AI. It's also not so straightforward. So you need also to design your own data set to be able to say, okay, for this query, I expect these set of products to be retrieved, and also how much you cover from these, how much you missed it, how much you get from a completely wrong set in these results. So all of this accuracy in a general term thing, but also very important is also the business KPIs. So how can we really put that in A/B testing with the client together, and then evaluate conversion rate, zero results search, add to cart, and these all of kind of business e-commerce KPIs. I think this is always the key that you can convince the client with, because it's not only the model is now 99% accurate or something, but what does it bring really to the business? Yeah,
it's a bit more tangible for the not so technical people. And okay, that sounds super interesting. I have two last questions already for you, more from your very personal perspective. First, where do you see AI-supported search, for example, in next year or in the next near future? What do you think will evolve?
Yeah, I think, and this is also what we try to do here. It's a very huge package if you want to really use AI in e-commerce in general. Let's focus on the user journey first. Search is a big part, and I think now we can already have very better results comparing to the last couple of years or something. But also having not only chatbot, but really virtual assistant that they can also go navigate through the PDFs, describing the documents, give you really the real assistance as you go to the shop. I don't know, you want to buy a laptop or something, you're not expert in that field, and then you talk with the assistant, right? And then explain your need, and you say, yeah, I want to get it for my grandpa or whatever, and this is the usage they will use it for. And they propose, okay, under this budget, this and this are recommended for you. This is something that's much doable at the moment. I think going more and more in the future, we can go more into the agentic commerce, where you can also have different shops together and let the agent buy for you, track the delivery, make the payment. I think we have a lot of room of improvement here. Hopefully also we can catch up with that here in the market, because I think still many shops are still very outdated and we need to transform that. Yeah, I think we have a lot of opportunities and a lot of improvements possible with now capabilities we have in the AI. Yeah.
Cool. And short, brief answer to which AI hype you think is not really relevant anymore, in your personal opinion. Can be spicy opinion. And maybe which one is underestimated. So which topic you would like to dive in the next years?
Yeah, that's very hard. I mean, I don't know if anybody could answer this question. What I would say is it's not matter of hyping or not. It's, I think, matter of doing things slowly and under control. I think this is the main thing. So many people have so much hopes and I don't know, like willing to solve the whole world and the whole problems at once, which never works, I would say, in my opinion. The thing is, the old classical machine learning is still valid, still useful. The agentic and everything trendy at the moment is still useful. How to start really slow, and as you go, integrate these solutions together. Start slow, make something for every particular unit or team, and start to integrate that slowly. And I think this is the way that you can use every possible thing together. And don't shoot too high from the beginning. Just start small, have a vision, and I think this is the thing. But if you have every day a new trend, and really, this is a very hard question to answer. I don't know. I think everything is useful if used in the right place.
Yeah, I think also especially with the vibe coding coming up, it's all about quick prototypes. But that's maybe another topic for another talk.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we are done with this topic, and thank you so much for answering my questions.
Thank you.
And maybe see you soon.
See you.